You put actual glue on your face.
I respect that.
I got super glue, and then I super glued like pubes to my chin there. I don't know why. I thought that would look good.
Did it look good?
This guy's a
No,
clown,
it looked like I had pubes super glued to my face. Yeah, I got a bum hole. So what? Yeah, I got a bum hole. That's hot. Welcome to another episode of Three Speech Podcast. I am the mad lad of jihad. To my right is the Bajan sensation, back from his mortal feud.
Dipset Bird Gang, we born to fly, baby. Another day, another dollar.
And coming to us from parts unknown, now we get to test his internet speeds with a special super celebrity guest. His daughter, it's controlled opposition. It's Mr. Leo Kearse.
All right, stop, collaborate, and listen to the Chinese Communist Party.
And behind the mic, no longer is it the it is the Jew with the plan. What rhymes with Jew?
All right, can you?
Stew?
The Jew with the stew. Actually, does that sound anti-Semitic? Actually, Jonathan, what do you want to be called so I don't sound like a massive anti-Semite?
Oh, Jonathan, please.
Okay. and behind the mic, it's Jonathan.
Jonathan the Jew.
Jonathan. JJ. It's JJ,
Jonathan
baby.
Schlomogen.
JTJ. And listen, we're going to start this episode off. Welcome to the Three Speech Podcast. Nico, your feud with Justin. Explain.
Yeah, I got the wrong guy. Sorry, Justin. Shout out to Justin, though. I gigged for Justin at his football club gig. I got the wrong guy. Apparently, all white guys look the same to me.
Hey.
So, hey.
You know the funny thing? Justin was like, I don't understand it. I booked him at my gig. He was good. We got on so well. And then he was trying to, I was like, I don't understand. It's just how he is, man. So
it's a guy. Well, let's not name the other guy.
Yeah, but
He's called Daniel Walton, and he booked people for gigs and then didn't pay them. And then he tried the whole thing of like, oh, I'm going through mental health problems and stuff. It's like, yeah, you can go through mental health problems, but also pay me. But I managed to get paid by him. I know some people didn't get paid.
How did you manage to get paid?
I can't remember. I think I just hassled him, man. Like some promoters have gone to great lengths to not pay me. Like Stephen Watson, that Essex promoter, he's back in the scene. But back in the day,
that's another one. That's another guy. Yeah, I forgot about him. Didn't he start an agency at one point?
Yeah, like the world's worst agency. Had like the worst acts. No offense to anybody who's one of his acts, if you're listening, but you must understand you're a bit shit. But yeah, he was running these gigs out in Essex, quite nice gigs. But he booked me. He owed me this money, and he wouldn't fucking. He was like, every time I messaged him or whatever, he'd be like, "Oh, the app isn't working on my phone or whatever." It's like, man, just fucking pay me. And he had a day job, so I ended up. I found out where his day job was. I phoned his number at work. His boss answered, and I was like, "Listen, Stephen owes me money. When he gets back from lunch, tell him to pay me." And I got paid half an hour later.
Wow, Leo really wanted that £25.
It was a drink token, actually. It was a drink token.
you know. I think Daniel Walton listens to this podcast.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. So, but pay your debts, and Nico will kill you. You missed a good pod though, man, with Justin, because he talking about all that. We didn't go to the moon, we didn't go to the Antarctica. Although comments on the YouTube said stop talking about this conspiracy shit. But I think you would have enjoyed it, man.
Okay.
Anyway,
next time.
Next time. Any other promoters that don't pay? I got paid after harassing the Ruffle guy. You know him?
Oh, him, Lee Jones.
Yeah, he gave me the same excuse. He goes, well, I'm the man, money there. And I said, listen, it's on your phone. Pay me now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then I had a big argument on the phone. He goes, why are you speaking to me like this? I went, because you not paid me.
You do that to your guests at Edinburgh on the way out. You've got the app there.
Yeah, me and Darius. In fact, Darius started a fight with a guy at Top Secret. The guy was waiting for Darius to come outside.
It was no. You know what happened? Actually, this was funny. I don't know. It was right. So, done the show. Good show. He came out. He goes, I ain't got any money. I was like, okay. And he's like, but I'm going to come back again. I'm like, all right. And he goes, but I've been drinking all night. I was like, yeah, fine. I was like, but the acts don't get paid if you don't get paid. If we don't get paid. And he was, well, yeah. But then he was trying, when they're looking at you for like So you're like, that's okay, and to be nice to them. I wasn't rude to him, but I was like, no, fine. And I just ignored him because I knew. And then he's like, and then he walked away and he started swearing under his breath, going, "You fucking me, you motherfucking." And then I was like, what's this guy's problem? Then he came back, why are you mugging me off? And I went, man, it's £5, man. You would have started a fight. You would have get beaten up as well over £5. Anyway.
And then he's like, come outside then, come outside.
But the funniest.
And Darius didn't go outside.
I was doing the bucket.
You should have gone outside, Darius.
I was gonna what?
Yeah, why didn't you go outside, Darius?
Yeah.
I'm a man of peace.
Go outside right now.
Well, the funny thing was, then his girlfriend came back and like, cut up with like, what? Who was doing this? And then Nico was like, tell him come through. And it was like, what was funny? She was like, what? I said, we don't back down for no one. We'll beat the fuck out of him. I was like, this isn't. Well, I don't know. It was funny as hell.
That's his girlfriend.
Yeah. Then she was actually
came back.
And then she went, actually, you know what? He is a bit of a dickhead. Went, that's right. So that happened. But do come to Top Secret. We're genuinely welcoming and friendly, and we'd love to see you there.
Yeah. I just can't believe people wouldn't just chuck some money in the bucket. You know what I mean? Like, for all the, like, getting all upset. It happens in Edinburgh as well after you put on, like, an hour show. Like, sweating, literally sweating because you got COVID. And, like, people are still like, oh, I said in the thing, it's a free show. Yeah, it says free, but it's like everyone else that says free. Really, we want money off you.
Man, these people don't
That line, you're stealing comedy, is great, though. Darius hit him with that. You're
downloading comedy. You're downloading comedy for free.
That's like, but the thing is, right, it's even worse than in Edinburgh, right? Because in Edinburgh, fine, some of the shows can be hit and miss. You're in, like, shit venues. But what are you expecting when you turn up at a West End club during the week where the entry's £1 to get in, and you're not seeing like, oh, this is an up and like it's Top Secret. You were seeing a legitimate banger of a show from start to finish with actual TV names on the bill.
Who was on that night?
I think Simon Brodkin was on, but like legit names, right? So you're seeing a proper show, right? And at the end, we say, listen, the acts get paid. Like, if I sat through anything, like, the only reason you're there is to watch the comedy. If I sat for anything, even if it was shit, if they entertained me for an hour, I'd put a £5 in. Just because I've sat there, you've tried to entertain me for an hour. But when you sat through thingy, like I don't have any money, but you've been drinking the whole night. You do have money. You're just being cheap. So, and also, it's the West End. Like, what are you expecting in London? Like, oh yeah, what, should we give you a blowjob on the way out as well? Obviously, you got to pay. That's the scam. It's like when I got suckered in to go to the into the strippers in Soho, and then they tried to charge us £400 for walking in. That was a good one.
I used to work. When I was an intelligence analyst. Like, we did some stuff around because I was doing it for Westminster, so obviously that covers Soho. So we did stuff on clip joints. They're called clip joints. They sort of lure people in, but people don't want any trouble. So quite often they'll pay like businessmen or whatever. They don't want their wives to find out, so they don't want to lodge a thing with the police. But if you do tell the police will just go around there and like you'll get your money back. But yeah, you go in and like you get given a menu and it's all like dingy and the prices are the same color as the lights. So you can't read the prices, and like the woman will be like, "Oh, aren't you going to buy me a drink?" So you get her like a white wine or something, and that's 400. Then they say it's 400 quid. Lights come on, and these bouncers like march you to a cash point, get you to pay. They also used to do street clipping as well. That's why I might have spoken about this in the podcast before. So when you're in Soho and you got all those doors that say, "This is not a brothel. There are no prostitutes at this address." And it's like, whoa, I think methinks the lady doth protest too much. But like the reason people have that is because street clippers, they'll get guys in the street, drunk guys or whatever, and be like, "Oh, do you want to have, sex with Swedish twins or something?" Have I frozen?
Yeah. Well.
Have I fucking
Swedish.
frozen?
Yeah.
We can hear your voice,
but
your internet's rubbish.
I can't believe it. Fucking virgin internet. I'm in the middle of a supposed civilized country, and it's not fucking working.
And you've gone pixelated, like 520p or something.
I'm doing this on my fucking Game Boy Advance. This is a disgrace. But if you can hear
can't
me,
shit
I'll just
on Darius
tell
anymore.
you that. Man, is the infrastructure in this country? It's a failing state. I blame cross-channel migrants for not bringing enough fiber.
There's a new Ollie Crease video out.
Yeah.
Right, anyway, Yeah, it's good.
Well, yeah. So the girls will say to the guys in the street, "I'll come to this address in an hour, and there'll be prostitutes here for you. Give us the money." And then they pretend to put the money through the door, and so the guys come back thinking the money's gone through the door, and they're like banging on some like old woman's front door, saying, "I want to bang Swedish prostitutes." So yeah.
I don't know if I told the story about me and Louis. So Louis, who you know, friend of the pod, he said, "Oh, we've got to go." Some woman lured him in. We went down there. As we're walking down the stairs, there's like Spanish students coming out crying, going, "Don't go in, don't go in." And we said, "That doesn't apply to us." Walked in there. Then we're like waiting around. She's like, "You want to buy?" The funny thing is, like, Louis, so we're students, and Louis so cheap. She says, "You want to buy me a drink?" And he's like, "Nah, you're not my type." then he's like, "When's this show gonna start?" Because they keep on. They like, "Do you want to get
It's a sexual?
So basically, in Soho, the way it used to work, they used to have like hot women standing by the doors. Like, "Oh, come in, we're gonna do a strip show. You're gonna do a strip dance, and you're gonna see it." And they'd walk. The woman would walk you down the stairs, and then she'd walk you to like a table. So you sit here, and would you like a drink? And would you want to get me a drink? She'd flirt with you. And most guys would get them a drink. Obviously, Louis was like, "No, I ain't getting you a drink." She was like, "What drinks do you want?" He went, "2 tap waters, please." She was like, "You can't get tap water." He's like, "All right then, Diet Coke." Said you have to have 1 alcoholic drink. So with Diet Coke and a beer, right? Then you're waiting around, and she's like, "Where's the stripper?" She's, "Oh, they're coming. They're gonna come. There's gonna be a show." And the age dragging us, "Oh, we're gonna go. This is shit." So okay, we'll have to walk you out now. And then they come the bill, and then the bill's like £500, and they charge you for walking down the stairs. She's stripper accompaniment. They charge you that. Then each drink's like £100, and then they charge you by a minute for like staying in the venue when nothing's happening. Anyway, so we got there, and I didn't want to go in this. So this is what I was like, I ain't paying nothing. And then Louis, who was like completely insane at this point, was like, they're like, "You owe £500. Louis like, "I ain't paying shit." And they went, "Oh, £500. And Louis just pulled out a screwdriver that he happened to be carrying upon him.
What the
And then I'll pay. Louis, when he moved down to London, used to carry like a gun, one of those lighter guns. You know, that looked like a lighter, so it would like smoke a cigarette. So he'd pretend he had a gun, then he'd have a legitimate screwdriver with him at all times. It was insane. And he pulled it out, and "I'm paying shit." And he went, "All right, you can go." And we just left. So we didn't pay. It's fuck. And then one time we went to one of those £2 peep shows. You remember that? And then you'd go in, you'd put £2 and be like a big window. You'd be in a little booth, and obviously the window would open, like a little curtain would open, and there'd be a bed, and you'd see this woman in the bed, and we saw the woman in the bed. I'm in one booth, Louis in the other booth. She's got a Tesco shopping bag there. She's middle-aged, completely ugly.
She just thought she was doing an Airbnb, and she didn't realize what she was getting into.
Well, this is years ago, before Airbnb. Anyway, then Louis knocks on the window. So then she goes to Louis, and I can't see shit. Complete waste of £2. £2 peep show in London.
Is Leo frozen again?
He's just pondering his existence.
Somebody tried to phone me, so I was trying to see if I could see who it was.
Have you ever made love to a prostitute, Darius?
No.
Have you made love to a prostitute,
He wouldn't. He wouldn't call it love.
Have you ever made?
Have either of you penetrated a prostitute?
No.
We should probably save it for the Patreon.
Yeah, save it for the Patreon, baby.
What about you, Jonathan?
Nah,
You used to go sex shows.
No, went to a ping pong show in Thailand, and we went to a torture garden. That's not a sex show. You're a member of the cast at Torture Garden.
Do you know what Torture Garden is, Nico?
Yeah.
Tell us about Torture Garden for listeners who don't know, John.
It's like
Jonathan.
It's basically a kind of a massive rave, but everyone's dressed in like latex and crazy outfits, and everyone's just banging everyone. It's
What? And you can see it,
you can see it. You are it. You're it. You're doing it. It's amazing.
man. You know where I
shagged?
At TG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his
What
name?
was his name?
Hey, we.
How many
Darius,
did you
actually.
shag at one time? Did you have a
The
threesome?
best was no. I've never had a good threesome. It's on my list.
Oh.
I've only had the bad one, but I'll talk about that.
What, 2 men.
No, no. Yeah, sorry. Did you say 3 men or 2 men?
Well, 2 other men.
No, 1 other man. Yeah.
You made love to a man?
No. It was 1 other man and a girl and me. When are we starting recording, by the way?
So 3 men.
Yeah. No, me, a man, and a girl. No, 3 men is the best threesome. That's efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but torture gun though, like literally, girls walk up to you, be like, "Can I suck your dick?" And you're like, "Okay."
If I was gay, I would definitely.
I get that in Tesco.
I get that after my
That was a peep show with the lady with the Tesco bag. It's definitely worth going to. Like, I mean, obviously we're all married men now, so we can't. But
If I was gay, I would definitely recruit other gay men, maybe like 8, and I'll do a circle where we're all bumming each other like an infinite loop of gayness.
train. Yeah.
I think I'd enjoy that.
Do you reckon you'd be successful as a gay man?
He's
Yes.
already a game.
My best years are behind, my twink years are behind me, but I think I'd be successful. I was gonna say something. So Torture Garden, it was good, and the women are hot.
Amazing. Yeah, like literally, it's a range. Like you get weird wanky towel guys who kind of stay in the background, you know, having.
Did you wear condoms?
Yeah. I'm super paranoid about germs and everything, except for COVID, which I thought was kind of funny, but not funny. But you know what I mean.
Oh, Twitter are dropping the COVID misinformation act on the 2nd of December, so then you can say whatever you like about COVID online again.
What's your
You
big
even
take?
say
What
the
you gonna
truth.
Big
Yeah.
up a man like Elon.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, it was talking about Elon that Apple might now ban Twitter. You can't, if you don't have build your own Twitter. All right, then we've got our own Twitter now. Oh, well, then build your own iPhone then if you want. Thing is, Elon might actually build his own iPhone. You idiots. The hypocrisy.
My mum keeps trying to call me. I think my dad might have died or something.
Oh. Well, you're watching in real time. Hans Leo's father passed away. Let's hope he has not. That will be deeply distressing if he has. We'll come back to you with that news
Breaking news.
as Leo freezes in. Can you minimize that picture of Leo because he looks horrific there? Okay, put it over my face. That's a good one.
All right, we'll put him down. Look, if I get rid of him, I'm probably not gonna be able to get him back.
All right,
I'll do that.
put him in the bottom right.
Bottom right. Okay.
There you go. If you're listening to this on audio vision, Leo's in a little
Audio vision.
I know what's your...
Not audio vision. What's that, Darius?
Radio.
A new technology.
Oh, what did I say in thingy? Inca print. No, printer ink.
Inca print. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is Inca. Printer
Inca
ink.
print.
The Peruvian.
In
Dubai.
In Dubai, baby. Dubai was fun. It was a fun trip.
Yeah, it was great. But now, anytime I get put up in a hotel, it's going to be shit. Because I was in Sweden, and the hotels obviously didn't compare to the hotels in Dubai. So it's been a blessing and a curse. Yeah.
Is your dad still alive, Leo?
He's still alive, so my mum just wanted to talk to me.
Ah. Good news, everyone. Leo's dad is still alive. So there's still another curse in the world. All
Yeah.
is good. What else is what's been good? So
Y'all been watching that new series called Wednesday?
See, you know
No.
the Apple thing. Am I still frozen? It looks all frozen on mine.
you're moving now. Oh,
Right,
Good.
It's I don't know why this internet is so fucking shit. I just can't believe Virgin. They're like they charge so much money.
How much
and
do you
then
pay?
Can't, I don't know. Like my wife sorts all that stuff out. But
how
I'm sure
fast
it's
is
a
your
lot.
internet?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's supposed to be like Virgin are all like, oh, we're like good and stuff. But that you know the Apple thing.
Mm.
Apple threatened to remove Twitter from the App Store, and Apple Apple are totally against freedom of speech. They've actually helped the Chinese government suppress the protests in China. So they've removed AirDrop and they've removed the ability of Chinese protesters to communicate with each other using Apple phones.
Well,
This is why you shouldn't have Apple.
they removed
exactly,
AirDrop
yeah.
for 30
And
minutes.
they also steal your data and pretend not to steal your data.
But
they
all
steal your
phones steal
data.
your data.
No,
And
but they made a announcement saying that we won't steal your data, but they're still stealing your data. Whereas the other phones are like, yeah, we steal your data.
They're honest thieves, which we prefer.
Yeah, you respect that. Also, Apple lobbied the U.S. government. The U.S. government was putting this bill through Congress or Senate or whatever, saying like to try and stop slave labor in China, specifically like Uyghur Muslim slave camps. And China's suppliers use that labor. They use the Chinese slave
Foxconn.
labor. So, so Apple lobbied the government to stop this bill that would have prevented them using slave labor. I mean, that is demented. And then all the Apple users, it's all these like 14-year-old white girls who are all like, oh my god, we must have reparations, and isn't slavery terrible? While they're literally contributing to modern slavery. It blows my mind that people think it's bad when it happened 400 years ago, but it's absolutely fine if it's happening now.
And the suicide at these factories is insane.
They have like
In fact, they used to have,
right?
I think they had nets around the building so that when you jump, you bounce right back up into the
landing a desk again.
back at the desk.
Like in The Simpsons. You know what?
Darius, how are you finding your new iPhone? You like it?
I've switched to iPhone temporarily. I've actually arranged just this morning to return it. There's too many things that I find annoying, but I've got another 7 days to return it by. But man, just some things are so stupid about Apple. The way they to go back on this is like, why would you need a back button? I know, let's put it in the hardest place to reach in the world, the top left. Why? Look how far away it is. 95% of the world is right-handed. Why are you putting it all the way in the top left? So annoying.
You use your phone with your right hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
because
right-handed, but I use it with my left hand.
And you wank with your right hand.
And you wank standing up.
Sometimes I sit in my arm so it feels like someone else is using my phone.
Why do you use your phone with your left hand?
I thought everybody did.
No one uses their phone with their left hand.
Then my right hand is free.
So what do you type with? What do you type with? Your left thumb?
Left thumb, yeah.
That's crazy.
No, I use the right hand. Anyway, it's a bit like both phones are. I think the Pixel, Android Pixel, now the way it just uses, it's got nice little things that you don't notice until you don't have them. For example, if you have an address in an email and you like highlight it, on Apple it says like search or whatever, and you have to open it or copy it and paste it. Whereas on that, it has all those options and it has maps straight away. But I guess it's feeding all your data. But I'm undecided as yet about what to do.
So shall I get the iPhone or the Pixel? That's the question I'm putting to you. Because
I'd get a Samsung. I got one of those big Samsung ones, like the Galaxy something or other, and man, it's great. It's great because you have big hands as well, so it's great for.
But you can't. You put that in your pocket.
Yeah.
It can still fit in your regular jeans pocket.
Oh yeah. And I wear like really stupidly tight jeans, like I'm presenting Top Gear or something.
Okay, cool.
And that's the look for the rest of his life. He ain't never moving away from. Took so long to transition to tight jeans.
Big belly sagging over the belt.
Fun is fun. Yeah, iPhone. I'm undecided. It's annoying when you're used to doing it the other way. It's just annoying to go back to that. Why they have no back button is just mess.
Yeah, every app has got a different back button. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem to make any sense.
Yeah, and also their notification system's rubbish. The way you get the notification, and you know on Android that's good. You can press home button to get the camera. You can't do that on iPhones. Well, the reason they don't have a back button, right, is because they said when it came out in 2007, they said if we have a dedicated back button, it will confuse users. Every time you swipe up from or press the home button, it should always go home. That was the logic of it, but they don't even follow their own logic because if you have apps in the folder, look how rubbish this is, right? Say you open this app, right? You open up an Instagram. So I'll show you again. Watch this. So I open this file. I'll open Instagram, right? I want to go home. I swipe up and it's gone back into the folder. So I have to swipe up again to go home. So it's 2 taps instead of 1. So like even their own logic of every time you go press the home button goes home, it doesn't work.
No, you can. You do it like that.
Let me see.
So if I let's go to Google Maps.
Yeah.
And I go, ooh.
No, but open it from a folder. Open an app from a folder.
Okay.
Let me ruin iPhones for you. Open up get a folder.
Yeah.
Yeah, show me. Yeah. Okay, now swipe up. No.
Oh, yeah.
You see? Yeah. That's the fucking annoying. What else do they do? Like this. I want to bring the notifications down. For some reason, it opens that. Don't even know what that stupid search bar is. Can't just Google search from here. Like if I want to move
you put a Google search on the home screen?
You can, but it's like retarded Google search. Like, look at it. It's just like, I don't know. It's just little things are so annoying that you can't double tap that to open the camera. You can't, like I said, if I want to go back, like the back buttons to swipe back, they've got a swipe gesture they're going to say, but you have to swipe all your thumb from around there. So it doesn't work. Also, their reachability thing to bring the screen down doesn't work. It just scrolls down. Okay, it's working now. But anyway.
Okay,
what are the odds you have the exact same phone next week?
Yeah, I'll probably like it next week. I can't be bothered to send it back now. Anyway,
I'm boycotting them on principle, and I'm boycotting the World Cup as well. And I'm also
that's what I was
boycotting.
going to say.
I'm boycotting other stuff.
I'm boycotting Balenciaga.
Oh yeah, I'm boycotting.
Getting rid of all of my Balenciaga. Yeah.
Well, I always knew Balenciaga are wrong, and just from their clothes. Like, look at their trainers, and you can't tell me those aren't the trainers of like a nonce has made them. Those ugly. All their clothes are ugly. You know what?
Let's pull up the lady, the stylist.
Oh yeah, I saw a former comedian. Oh, actually, and what's her face? Suze Kempner, who defriended me on Facebook, so I feel I can talk her actually. And she was on Twitter going. She was on Twitter going, "Oh, I looked into the Balenciaga thing. I think it's just a little fuss about nothing." I was like, imagine that. Like, why would you go into bat for a brand that even they have said has accused themselves of we were a bit noncy there. Why would you go to bat for that? Like, why are you trying to defend nonces?
Yeah.
Well, she's obviously like a Satanist or something.
That's it. Yeah. I'll send it to the group.
I feel bad that Leo's holding a baby in the picture where this lady's holding the baby.
Yeah.
She'd eat your baby.
Wholesome.
Much more wholesome.
Yeah. So and then they're like, oh, it was just an accident. We happened to put the child porn case in the screens. It was just an accident that we put bondage teddy bears. Like, I remember everyone's like, oh, the world's run by satanic pedos. Everyone's like, you're mad. And then Tony, you're mad, Alistair. and then you see the adverts, you're like, actually, maybe you're right.
Someone
I put them in the
did
group
a breakdown
thing.
Someone did a breakdown of the whole Balenciaga thing and went on that, the designer that Nico just showed, all in red and stuff, with holding the two sort of red babies. So somebody went on her Instagram and went through all her posts before she locked it down. And man, she has got some demented stuff. Also, she's in a relationship or close friends with this guy who's been accused of pedophilia by two different people. And like all the stuff, they're making all these jokes about pedophilia, but real, like, almost like the start of the thing that came off the whole thing was they thought it was like cool and edgy, and like so much imagery about children crying and harming children, and there's so much stuff that gets referenced, like panda eyes. There's that child sex case or whatever. The documents are there. Man, there's so many, like, not even like hints or suggestions. Like, they're literal fucking court documents, right?
Well, and also they worked with these art artists. I use that in brackets, called Jack and Dinos Chapman brothers, right? Bring up Jack and Dinos brothers. Jack and Dinos Chapman, I think they're called. And I was reading about it, and one of their art installations that was in the house is a boy with a dick on his face called Fuckface, and with like a sex doll mouth, and it's a little kid. Jack and Dinos Chapman. It's mental, this stuff. So this is it, right? So the owner of Balenciaga, I believe they're called Carragher or Carragher, who the guy who owns it has this art, and he owns Christie's as well. And if you bring up these Jack and Dinos Chapman, bring up Fuckface is the picture, is the art they made. It's mental, like some of the artwork that you look at. It's like, wow, this is proper, like that picture in Epstein's house with George Bush flying the paper airplane into the Twin Towers. Like, come on now, is that not like? Is that not like suspicious? That's that the nose is a dick and the mouth is a blowjob mouth. And look at that one next to it.
That's pretty grim. Very grim. Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, well, maybe it is like, and they're like, no, it's not satanic, it's not pedos. Nico, why are you out of camera?
I signed in something to the group.
Okay. Can you hear me? Well, I feel like I'm just talking about nonsense on my own.
Yeah, this is like Vittoria podcast. It's you alone in a podcast studio.
Oh, you know what we should do? I listened to a podcast for the next, what time is it now? For the next 10 minutes, let's fake laugh at everything we say as if we said something funny like,
So you were saying, I just sent something to the group. I don't know if it came through.
we're doing the fake podcast laughs.
No, that is part of it.
Well, this is probably too serious a subject
Yeah, we
to
probably
laugh
should
at.
be.
These are real laughs. I was going to do the
That's a
fake laugh.
genuine laugh.
That's a genuine laugh as we laugh at the. I like that Kim Kardashian made a stand, but I'm a bit disturbed about this, but I'll continue to work with him.
Yeah, play the last one I just sent, or
Okay.
it should be in the group, John.
Cool.
All right. Jonathan is now playing us something. This
Well, carry on talking because I'm gonna have to type in the link manually.
you typing it? What?
You serious?
I don't have. Yeah, I don't.
Well, put web WhatsApp on there.
on this.
Type web WhatsApp and then just scan your thing in.
Fair enough.
This guy.
Do you know how to use a computer?
Oh, I don't.
Bloody
Come on, he's 65 years old. You can't expect him to know these
producer.
things.
Exactly.
What's your take on the nonces, Nico? On the noncery?
I believe, like, listen, all of these entertainment industry, fashion industry, there are a lot of sick people running it, a lot of Satanists involved, and I think the end game, and we're seeing it happen, is if you can identify as this and identify as that, the last thing they want is the kids. So if a man can claim he's a woman, and you can change your sex or age or whatever, they want to say this adult is a minor and therefore have relations with another minor. Like a grown man will be able to identify as a kid and say, that's what they want. So it's all perversion in these high up places and whatnot. And that's why you don't see the client lists for Epstein, you don't see them people getting charged or nothing because they are the people at the top. So this is a Balenciaga promotion.
Turn it down so
can we do what's in the bag, please?
Okay, so we're watching
hold it for you?
So if you're listening, we're watching the Balenciaga promotion. He's got like a big red kind of Balenciaga bag. All right, put the volume on so we can hear it as well then.
Like then when she's gonna pee, I don't know. Then when she's boring.
And it's all splattered in blood.
So what are we looking at? He's pulled out a teddy bear.
All the baby clothes and baby items are splattered in blood.
What's in your bag?
In my bag, like stuff for baby. It's like.
Should we do what's in your bag?
Well, why would you want stuff
can we
for a
do
baby?
What's in the bag, please? Should I hold it for you and you can take things out? Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be artistic, but why is everything they do with art
She started to cry.
involve kids, babies, and blood?
Yeah, what's
And
hard?
sex.
What's the fascination about this?
Boring, yeah.
So he's pulling out, yeah.
Everything demonic, satanic rituals. Look at that guy.
What site? Whose Instagram is that?
I don't know.
What?
Landor Starbuck.
Who's Xandor Starbuck?
But yeah, so
Is he in
that's
Star
what I
Wars?
want, man.
Sounds like it.
But
So,
yeah,
yeah,
man,
no,
it's like it's part
but-
of the whole like the there's LGBTQIA plus whatever. The sort of the Q bit has like is now co-opted. Sort of they're drifting into paedophilia, like Nico says. So Sussex Police. So there's a feminist called Kelly J. Keane, also known as Posey Parker, who's being critical of gender ideology and self-identification.
Yeah, she's great.
And all that kind of stuff. Yeah, she's great, and she's standing up for women's rights. Even if you don't agree with her, you can see where she's coming from, and she should be allowed a voice and allowed an opinion. But it goes against the sort of woke orthodoxy, and I can't wait for Ollie Crease to start talking about that. But so Sussex Police turned up to her house and said and accused her of being untoward about paedophiles, right?
What, really?
So they said she was being untoward about paedophiles, and then she got I think she got arrested or detained. No, they fucking this. So she was at a protest, and after the protest, like she was just at the rally, but there's a counter protest by queer activists or whatever who what-a-bit nonsense and stuff. And afterwards, Sussex police got in touch with her and invited her down to the station for a voluntary conversation, a voluntary interview. And they said she'd been committing hate crimes against people's sexuality, but the only sexuality she'd referenced is paedophilia. So they see paedophilia. Sussex police now see paedophilia as a sexuality rather than a
Jonathan,
fucking,
can we fact check this, Jonathan? Let's fact check whether or not what Leo is saying is true. Sounds true, but we're going to check so we can see the story. But her mistake was voluntarily going to the police station. If they invited me to voluntarily
go. What's the lady called again?
Posey Parker.
Kelly J. Keane.
I would if the police invite. Oh, she didn't go. Yeah, I would have told the police. No. Piss off, Sussex police.
She said to the police, "Have you got any evidence of these hate crimes?" And they weren't sure. So she said, "Well, I'm not coming."
Good policing.
Yeah.
You know what was funny? We kind of went over it about Apple and we alluded to it, but we never said. So right now, the startling hypocrisy of the West, in particular Canada, United States, and United Kingdom, we stand with the protesters of China against the harsh lockdown measures. It's like, wait a minute. I remember when you were kicking people's heads in the street. I remember when you were freezing bank accounts. How are you any different? And now you want to stand with the Chinese protesters. And the funny thing is now you see people who were 100% supportive of lockdown over here, and they're all like, why is this moving? They're all like, oh, we're Chinese, look at this. And like, I just don't understand the hypocrisy of so many I was going to say woke, but I don't even think woke means woke anymore. I think the word woke has been hijacked by the regime or the ideology or whatever you want to call it, because really woke, as we know it used to mean like, someone who's socially liberal thinks, live your life, do what you want to do. But now
I meant awake to social issues.
Yeah,
racism.
Yeah, but now like, we kind of got that. Now it means like, oh, you got to recognize that, minor attractive, like the fact that we even know that it's called minor attractive people now, that they're trying to, normalize that word instead of, nonce, which it should be the word, because that's also an acronym for non-outside nonce in something exercise. I can't remember what it stands for. Justin told me.
What are you talking about?
You know the word nonce comes from, is from the prison, and it means something like not allowed outside something exercise.
Okay.
You talk, I'll find.
Non-curricular exercise or some shit. Anyhow.
No ordinary noncy cum eater. No.
Yeah, back to the thing with Balenciaga and all this sort of stuff, though. It's like when Prince had that famous interview, when Prince went out and he said, listen, there's a war on between good and evil, and there's a war for your soul. I truly believe that. And that's why society and all this stuff has gone down. We've forgotten God. We turned our back on God, and then this is the result that you get. And you see all these people pushing Satanism and all these demonic things with the children. And that's why Jesus says, suffer the children to come unto me, So all of these things, and I know...
What did Jesus say?
Suffer the little children to come unto me, and to
what does that mean?
To find God, to come to God through him. And that he always will protect the children. So
that's also a bit noncy. He's all like saying, "Hey kids, hey, you want to see some puppies?" Well,
nah, but you gotta get your children into Sunday school and teach them about God.
It's mad. It's mad how everything's gone maybe it is kind of really. This is going to turn into a religious podcast. Everything now it's kind of kind of clear that there's some sort of, I don't know, spiritual element in. Anyway, nonce stands for not on normal communal exercise. That's where it comes from. Not on normal communal exercise, because they would have got.
Is that because they might get stabbed?
Yeah. Not anymore. Not anymore. Especially not if they did it in the free market zone, the Chaz in Portland. They'd be welcomed as heroes or whatever it's called. The Chaz zone.
But yeah, these are dark times, man.
Our friend was in prison for, it was football hooliganism. So not even a crime, football violence is like it's organized between two groups. So it's like, what's the problem there? It's a voluntary arrangement.
Look, if two consensual adults want to make love and or fight, that's fine.
Exactly. It should be seen the same as like, two adults deciding to have some kind of rough sex.
Fighting is just rough sex. Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's just rough sex without the penetration.
That's what I said to the guy at Top Secret.
Did they ever make a fighting Tinder where you could just like find someone to fight and match, then go like,
Fight Club? That'd be quite good.
Yeah, like fight Tinder.
Yeah.
Well,
Until you just match with people who beat the shit out of you.
yeah.
We should
but
make
then
that.
some people like that. But then, so our mate was in prison for having a voluntary fight that he shouldn't have been in prison for. And he said the nonces had their own wing. The nonces all shouted down. They had all the rapists and like pedophiles and stuff on a floor above them all. And the nonces were all shouting taunts down at them because they knew they were so safe. They're so protected on their like floor. There's no mixing with the prisoners anymore. So they couldn't be like beaten up in the toilets or anything or killed like Jeffrey Dahmer was. Jeffrey Dahmer was killed by somebody in prison.
My friend's got the best prison story of all time.
Tell us then.
Junior. So he was in prison, right? And he realized that Muslims get more food, right? Because it's halal, so all their food, so they got bigger portions, more meat and stuff. And he was bodybuilding as well. So he had a.
Why? I don't understand. Why would you get a bigger portion if it's halal?
Because the food's better. You just get different. You get more meat. You get more because it has to be halal. So they make it separate, especially for the Muslims. So you get better food, right? If you're in prison, that's what happens, right? So in prison, if you're Muslim, you get all halal food. Apparently, it's a lot better. So he sees this and he has a come into Damascus moment. You know, he's like, what? I feel the call of Allah, and he becomes a Muslim, right? So for like 6 months, it's fucking great. He's a Muslim. He's enjoying the food. He's like Abu Junior. Everyone's like, yeah, he's a junior. Then he turns up one day and there's no food. And he's like, where's my lunch? And they were like, what? So, it's Ramadan. He was like, what? So he had no food for 30 days? It was so funny.
That's also in Scum. You know that film about Borstal?
Oh, maybe they like what that has that happened in maybe that's not his story and he's lied and told me someone else's story. That happens as well all the time. This is a really good story and I find out it's someone else's.
There's this man that said that he's going to the gym now before he go to prison because his cousin went to prison as a fat man and got titty fucked.
What?
Imagine getting titty fucked as a man.
And we can laugh at that because it's male rape and it's funny when it's prison rape.
Chicken.
Oh, wow.
Hey, chicken. It's all right. It could have been a lot worse.
Is being titty fucked raped?
It's being violated.
It's been, yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, if it had been the other way and he said, "Oh, a woman got titty fucked in prison," people are like, "Oh, but when it's men, it's just funny."
Yeah.
Chappelle has a joke about that actually.
Oh, what is this about?
He said, "I can joke about rape when it's a man." He does a rape story. A dude, a homeboy getting raped in jail.
Have you heard the one he does? He does a really funny one. He goes, "Man, there's a serial rapist in Texas going around raping men. He's like 10, he's raped 10 victims already." Goes it, but this is men, so that means he must have raped hundreds of men, and men have just been going home.
Yeah, because men don't talk about it.
It's like shake it off.
Yeah, you keep that to yourself. Right, that's the joke.
Yeah,
same joke.
Oh, same joke. How old is 16 really? Funny comedian.
It's also the new Balenciaga ad campaign.
Oh no, theirs is how old is 5 years old really? Legitimate age. Balenciaga. Funny that none of the celebrities who would be critical about this. You know what would be funny if that? So I saw what's her face say it. What's her name? The trans right wing, but she's pretty hot.
I know you mean.
White.
She said if it was about
LGBT,
yeah.
She said if this was LGBTQ, all the celebs would be condemning it, but when it comes to children, they're not saying nothing. So it's true. It's like this is crazy. Kim Kardashian's like no.
And the only one that said something was Kanye.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only one.
He's crazy.
So that would tell you something.
He's running for president now.
The only celebrity to condemn Balenciaga was Ye. So what are we gonna say about that?
What are you gonna say about it?
What are you gonna? Leo, you've turned Leo into Ollie Crease mode when you mentioned Ye.
But no, it's funny that though. Like, you know, if you're a truth teller, you know, you get banished, censored,
Like the free speech
and they say
podcast.
you're crazy.
He is a little bit crazy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but it's fine.
But to be a genius, you need to be a little bit crazy.
True.
I think that's what's wrong with comedy. Is like to sort of make it in comedy now, you got to be like super organized and like network and lick people's bums, and you know, it's like you got to act like you're in a real job, and it's like those people aren't funny.
Not only that, you need to say everything on brand with what they want you to be
Yeah.
talking about, and not have any differing opinions, be it political or whatnot. But that's the same in all walks of life, not just in comedy now. Like everyone's going, like,
Yeah.
got the
But
like,
in a
you-
normal walk of life, like a regular job, like in a, you know, say you're working for a council or something, yeah, you expect all that. But then those people don't have to be funny. You don't have to have that spark. You don't have to, you know, because people with that spark who go off on crazy ones and stuff aren't good at all the networking and, you know, organizing and spreadsheets and stuff. No offense, Simon, if you're listening. But
Which comics would you say are like the most unhinged in that kind of crazy, talented way? Like outliers.
So, I'm trying to think. Well, Alistair Williams is funny. Darius is funny, but he's like badly organized. Actually, he's
good.
getting
Well,
more organized now.
I'm more
and
organised.
He's getting less
thanks
funny.
to Al Vance. Yeah. The more organized I get, the less funny I get.
Yeah, because you medicated yourself.
Yeah, I'm medicated.
I shade with crayons.
Oh, the shader. In Dubai there was
What's your name? My name is Shader. I shade with crayons.
but we need to
Bants.
explain. Man, it was
Darius. That's Darius doing bants.
I was emceeing the gig like in Dubai, and it's going really good. Like emceeing got them up. Then I was like, "Oh, what's your name?" To some girl, she's like, "Shader," and I was like, "I shade with crayons" or something like that, and it just complete silence, just absolute. It was so shit.
Dog
This
shit.
gig is sponsored by Elvance.
It was good. It was only that one. They didn't even realize. In fact, it was too nuanced.
Everyone realized.
No one realized.
The room went
I-
deathly silent.
The room, they didn't. The room were like, that is this guy. She said shade, and he made an instant joke about shading with crayons.
It was so bad.
Have you told your goatee story on the pod before?
My goatee story.
Yeah.
I don't even know what my goatee
When
story.
you got some hair.
Oh, did I tell you that?
You told me that.
Why did I tell you that?
I think we're bonding.
Well, okay, you can tell my goatee.
we're
well,
Making
bonded.
love. Yes,
Disgusting.
they made love.
when did we bonded?
It was after my breakdown at
Was this in the car?
He needed a
no
shoulder to
this was
cry on.
before this was before Hayton Live in Edinburgh.
Did you have a
Bonded.
bad gig, Jonathan?
I had one bad gig. Well, no, well,
Just
I mean,
one. I heard it was more than that.
What, at Hayton Live?
Yeah.
Oh, you are directly responsible for the worst Hayton Live.
I tanked the gig.
No, you are directly responsible for the worst Hayton Live in 8 years. You booked the most.
Oh, that one. Oh,
That
that
was-
was crazy. That
Man, he booked some. Explain yourself.
Okay, so I went to nope, that's not me. I was roast battling somebody, and then I went to their gig, and they had two other New York comics, and they were all pretty funny during that show, and I was impressed. I was like, oh yeah, let's get some like young blood in at Hayton Live, two New York comics, quite a diverse bunch of characters. I thought they were gonna be funny, and they just kind of.
This the Chinese guy I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, he.
I literally,
was on one.
He booked it. Jonathan went, I've seen this Chinese American guy or something. He's great. Book him. He had a literal breakdown on stage. It's the only time, like, you know how I harass people for money? The show was so shit. I said, listen, I'll be at the door with a bucket, but it's been so shit you don't have to pay. ISIS came up on the thing in the final round. He'd already been voted
topic.
off. He walked, hilarious, right? He walked back on stage. Well, I have to say something. And I was like, oh, go on then. He pulled out his phone and went, my friend was murdered by ISIS in the Iraq war.
No, it was in New York. It was I think he got hit by a van or something, yeah.
By ISIS?
I think so.
Nah, that makes less sense. How do you know that's an ISIS van? Anyway, it sounds hilarious now.
It was an ISIS truck.
It sounds hilarious now to watch it back, but at the time I was like, it was almost as bad as that Hayton Live where I hid literally on stage and we got 32p in the bucket in the very first year, if you recall that one.
So his friend was killed by ISIS?
Apparently. I mean, at this point, I was just like, ISIS have just killed this show.
If I was at a comedy show and like one of the comedians had a breakdown and then came on stage when he wasn't supposed to be there and said how his friend had been killed by ISIS, I'd think that was the greatest comedy show I'd ever been to. That's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. It's good. You know what? You remember the bad gigs more than the actual good gigs. I mean, in hindsight, it was memorable, but it was drizzling shit if you were in the room. That's when I took your book.
He has a good career.
So he's been on TV and stuff. He's done a couple of cartoons, like voice, and I don't know if he's like massive stand-up. I feel like he's kind of in the New York scene, and he's done like a couple of, like voice acting roles that pay well. But I think he just lost his job that day. I think he literally lost that cartoon job. Yeah.
And then he came to hate, and it was with the worst.
He was a sweet guy before.
Imagine losing your job that day and then hitting rock bottom later on that day. When you do Hating Live.
Yeah.
It was.
Like, wow, I thought this would be a couple of years down the career trajectory. But here I am on stage with Darius.
But why was that? Why did I tell you about the goatee, and why did you just bring it up?
I didn't.
You said to me, have you told him about the goatee?
So what's the goatee story?
you look furious at me now.
No, I'm just wondering. I'm not furious.
No.
My resting bitch face.
Yeah. So when you were younger, you wanted to get, you wanted to look a bit more mature.
This is when I was like 21, by the way. I used to look about fucking 10.
You didn't?
So I cut some pubes off and super glued them there. Like to that bit under the chin. I thought listen, I couldn't shave. I looked about 7 years old. I thought, I'm gonna do it with a super glue some pubes here, and it will look like a beard. But then the super glue started burning my face. So I had to rip the super glue off.
What is wrong with you?
The thing
I was
18.
I was 21 or something. I don't
It wasn't even his pubes.
It was Nico's.
It was his mom's.
And it wasn't my mom's. That's a lie. That wasn't Go-Bad's. That's a lie. They were my own pubes.
No, they weren't.
Just had about enough pubes to see. But I don't know why. Why did I tell you that story?
I think you were just like, you told me, you sat me down, you're like, please never mention this on a podcast, but I need to tell you something. No, I don't know, you told me it.
You put actual glue on your face.
I respect that.
I got super glue, and then I super glued like pubes to my chin there. I don't know why. I thought that would look good.
Did it look good?
This guy's
No, it looked like I had pubes super glued to my face.
What's changed?
Well, now I don't think I got pubes on my face anymore. But I couldn't grow anything. I had nothing. I just had I had that bum fluff moustache and like totally clean. And then pubes there.
I've betrayed you. I'm sorry.
Did you go in public?
Yeah, I went to Oxford Street. People are like, why has this guy got super glue pubes to his face? I thought it was basically, obviously, I was trying to look older to try and get laid. But apparently women can tell when you've super glued pubes to your face.
You get stuck to their chin.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Special, man.
I can't believe I told you that. I don't know why, but in what context would I tell you
It's
that?
It's before a Hating Live show. We were at the bar.
Yeah.
Having a pint.
Yeah. But why would I tell you? I don't understand.
You sat me down. You're like, I have to tell you something. You're burning up inside.
Oh, maybe it's because you're clean shaven. I was like, you know what? You could super glue some pubes to that face and you would look good.
I've got a little something. It's not. That's like 2 weeks maybe.
Yeah, leave it. See how it goes.
Good. I look Hasidic.
And do you? How long? We got to go in a minute. Is there anything else we got to say? Because we got to do the Patreon episode, and then I got to run. What else has been happening this week? Something else is like, okay, so here's what I've been reading about. So we've been the hypocrisy of the Trudeau in Canada. Elon's gonna start a new Twitter. Don't talk about conspiracy theories. Oh, we never practice laughing just obsequiously at our own like jokes, even when we say nothing funny, like other podcasts. Yeah. No, but you have to actually say something and then laugh. So say something and then I'll laugh. Well, you say something.
Do you remember the time you stuck pubes to your face?
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, that was quite funny though.
That was a funny story.
Yeah.
It wasn't funny
And
at the
troubling.
time. Well, it's one of the things.
Yeah, that's something a serial killer would do. Like,
No, it's not.
Like
You're a
in
failed
his,
serial killer. The only
No, I'm
difference
a good-
between you, only difference between you and Jeffrey Dahmer is you haven't actually managed to kill anybody yet.
Yeah, he doesn't have. He lacks the organizational skills to execute.
Disney Strange World, new film with the most diverse kind of casting ever, set to lose 100 million in its theatrical run. After Brianna Wu, who is verified on Twitter, says, if you thought conservatives freaked out over Lightyear, they're going to shit the bed over Strange World, which is great. Main protagonist is gay. Older people don't find it remarkable. Biracial marriage. Almost no one is white. Climate change metaphor. Even the dog is disabled. Strange World set to lose 100 million in theatrical run. Also, I saw the new Home Office advert, and it's just done another Gillette advert where they went, some white guy sees it go, whoa, look at the body at that, and all his multiracial friends were like, whoa, you can't say that. When I know for a fact that when me, you, and Nico are out, it's me and Nico looking at white women, go, whoa, look at the body and that, and Leo going, well, you can't say that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. But it's not because we're being toxic, it's because we're married. And Leo respects the vows of marriage and toxic masculinity.
Thank you for signing in.
Thank
for
you.
another episode of.
That was weirder than when you glued pubes to your face, Darius.
I don't know. I haven't been sleeping very well. Oh! I had a near-death.
You take NHS grade speed.
I had a near-death experience last night. I forgot to say.
Oh,
That's
tell
probably
us.
why so I've been trying to change the lights, right? And the lights are obviously they're lined into the main electricity line. So I've been turning off at the switch box. But yesterday, I forgot to turn off the main switch box when I was putting the bracket up, and I grabbed all the wires and I electrocuted myself. I don't know how I'm alive. Is it because I held the ground, and the neutral? Is that why I didn't die?
It's because you've got more to give, Darius.
Well, honestly, I thought I must have had
all the pubes on his face fell off.
But how am I not dead?
All the pubes just got fried.
A little skeleton popped up. But how is it because I grabbed it? Leo, do you know anything about electrics?
I've sold you down the river, Darius. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm not ashamed of my pube sticking on my face past. I stand by that.
That is insane.
I'll do it again. I still don't have hair there in that bit. But why, Leo?
The glue burn off the follicle.
Do either of you two know about electricity? Why did I not?
Listen, the man stuck pubes on his face and left the house. That's crazy. I'm been out in public. That is mad. Do you understand how insane that is?
I thought it looked realistic.
That is crazy.
Why am I still? Can someone explain to me why I didn't die? Is it because I grabbed the ground at the same time?
You had on rubber shoes.
The ground wire or the actual ground?
So the wires from the ceiling, the two live wires, the black wires, all the wires, and the neutral, the yellow wires. I grabbed them all. But how comes I'm still alive?
It's like when you get tased.
I have no idea how you're still alive, Darius.
I had to sit down. I thought, maybe that's a clue.
You just lost more brain cells.
I shouldn't be. I was like, that's a clue. Cause I forgot I turned the switch back on.
I went to lunch with Darius, and he gets some bread. And he's got a Coca-Cola and he's dipping the bread in the Coca-Cola.
No, you're lying. He's lying. I was eating pizza. Listen.
He's dipping the bread in the Coca-Cola like it's normal.
He's lying. This is a...
Like how you dip a digestive in milk. Like,
This is a culinary experience. Free Speech Podcast listeners, I implore you, next time you get a pizza, especially a deep pan pizza from Pizza Hut, dip the crust into the Coca-Cola. I promise you it's a taste sensation. I also learned, actually Carly told me in wherever she's from in America, they get a bag of salted peanuts and a glass bottle of Coke. They pour the Coke in and they put all the salted peanuts in the bottom of the Coke and they drink it. Apparently it tastes really nice. But try that. Dip your crust in the Coke. You like Coke, you like pizza, Coke and pizza's nice. Jonathan showing, can you force someone to get help with their mental health on screen if you're listening to this?
yeah. Mendes, what behaviors has he been exhibiting? He's been sticking pubes to his face and dipping pizza in Coke.
No, the pubes was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Pubes was like 10 years ago when I was 21. That was a long time ago.
Do you dip your crust in Coke, Jonathan?
No. You know what? I would try it. I would give it
Try
a go.
it.
I would try it.
If you're listening to the podcast and you're eating pizza, please dip your crust in Coke. Think about it. You eat the pizza and you drink the Coke. You like the taste of them together. Yeah. So you dip in it. It's pre-made. It's nice. It's like sweet, salty. It's a taste sensation. I'm telling you. It's like Gash Bombs. It shouldn't work, but it does. Actually, Gash Bombs don't work, but...
Should we get a slice from downstairs and try it?
But actually, it works best with deep pan Pizza Hut pizza because they're really like greasy, but also works with other crust, but not as well.
The man is doing this in the middle of a restaurant as well. And I'm like, geez.
In a restaurant?
These Iranian people, man.
Yeah, I'm spreading the word. Listen, that's how I like my pizza. It tastes good. Don't give me a between Coke Zero. All right, should we call it a day? This has been a weird episode, but I think it's been a classic Free Speech episode. With listen, please look. Just like and comment for the algorithm. We've given up on you fucking subscribing to the Patreon now, you cheap fucks. Although thank you to the 2 who did subscribe last week. We appreciate your money. And one day we will register and take the money out of the account. But today's not that day. But if you're listening to this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. At least just like it. The most likes we get, I think, within the first hour or so means it gets shared and picked up by the algorithm. And somehow, some way, we want to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We're like 20 away. That's nothing. That's
no, we're
nothing.
about 170 away.
Are we?
You know how you did a Dermapen episode? You should do a sticking pubes to your face episode. Like bring some pubes in and show people how you stuck them to your face.
If we get 2,000 subs.
Yeah.
People really like the Dermapen episode.
Yeah. If we get 2,000 subs, Darius is going to stick pubes to his face and go in public and do a gig.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Pizza dipped in Coke.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do that. That's not even a challenge. I mean, I'd do that anyway. Right, so we've currently got 1,831 subscribers. So like I said, about 20 away. If we get 2,000 by the end of the year, I will stick the pubes to my face. Actually, you know what I will do as well? I'll gig in that robe I brought back from Dubai.
Yeah.
That will be funny.
Oh, did you bring it back?
No, what's it
Yeah.
called?
The hijab.
Oh, no.
Well, it's actually called a nabai. Oh, no, it's called a...
It's like a
Kaffa or
splash.
something.
It's got a splash.
Oh,
stand.
dish dash.
Dish dash.
Dish dash.
Yeah.
Dish.
No, it's called a ayaba or something.
Huh?
It's called a ayaba or something.
Abaya, maybe.
Abaya or something.
When I went to the market to haggle when I was wearing it, my friend, why you fucking me like this? I can't take that money. Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll be back with a Free Speech Patreon episode. That's where we name names, and you'll find out whether or not Leo has slept with a prostitute. He got wanked off by a Thai woman in Thailand, but which wasn't a prostitute, it was a sauna massage. Bye.